Hey ladies and germs, Gabster, FCFM Garage. Fixed that friggin' machine garage out on Manitowabing Lake. And I brought the new fishing hut out and toboggan and everything else. I forgot chairs, but anyway, I got it here and I drilled some holes, easy peasy. 17 inches of ice. It's beautiful. About a zillion skidoos just went zipping by me here, all 4-stroke turbos going about 100 mile an hour. I didn't get my camera was way tucked in under my bib suit, so I couldn't get it. Anyway, yeah, I'm in about 20 feet of water here, 10 to 20 feet. And I forgot I had just fishing hooks tied right on, no leader. I think that's better for pickerel because they're sneaky bastards, eh? But now I got no minnows, so, but the wife got me some beautiful new glow-in-the-dark jigs with spinners, and that's what they're using in Winnipeg and all over Minnesota and whatnot. So I get out here and I still got the damn hooks on. Well, you know, it's -5, but with a 20 mile an hour wind, so it's freezing cold on your fingers, right? Well, I brought the new hut out, but I just got too much pain to here. I'll show you. It's just too much, you know. I mean, I could dig it all out of there and whatnot, but the time I got out here and loaded up and drilled the holes, my knee's just toast. I mean, like, I'm 3 years from surgery. I mean, it was supposed to be done 3 years ago, and I'm still walking on it, and I got another 3 weeks to go. So, I mean, I'm down to, like, you can't even stand on it for 5 minutes, you know, without screaming in pain. So, fuck it. I'm an Aries. What do I know? I'm dumb, right? So, I wanted to go fishing. There's no one around. I did it. Fucking do it. But anyway, yeah, there it is in there, and this is kind of a test trial. You know, I got a buddy of mine might be coming out tomorrow, and if I just had one other guy or one other girl in this entire world that could pull that tent out of there, and I'll stand on one of the corners and we'll pop it up in 5 minutes, and we'll put it over the hole. We'll have 2 holes, and then we'll have another couple over there like I got there. You know, and then I can sit out here for 7 or 8 hours with peanuts and beers, and I got a little heater back at the shop there. And I got this groovy little, and all these rods are just garbage rods anyway, so, you know, they're just these cheap shit you get there. I was using for the amount I go ice fishing. But now I got the hut. You see how that froze up? That froze up in 5 minutes. So I got this groovy little spinner hooks. Yeah, they're beautiful. Look at that, the way the action on there, eh? Well, you gotta be, I should have brought my chair out so I could sit and jig it. I mean, it'd be so nice to have that tent out right now. That hut set up. But by the time I get that all set up and then fish for an hour and a half, it'll be dark. And I gotta put it all back in there, and I'll never get it back in there. The dogs at home on the rag, blood all over the place, so the old lady's out and above. So see, this here's just that froze up already, eh? That's how cold it is out here. This here was just a black jig with a bunch of that smelly pickerel walleye smell shit on it. Here are a few jigs. Yeah, if I had live mails, but the fucking store was closed. Fuck. Driving there at $20, $30 in gas because of Trudeau just to get minnows and fuck it. So there's a little flag there, whipping in the wind. That's the reef. That's about where that flag is. You're standing right on the rocks. And where I am right here in summer, you'd probably be in around 15 to 20 feet. And then there's that landmass there, and that's the south channel, and that's the north channel. That's the channel that goes to McKellar. That's the channel that goes to Herdville. And it used to be solid slush, where David, my buddy, and a bunch of other guys got stuck in there in a slush one year. But this year, the last month anyway, it's solid. There's no slush there at all. See, the water gets pushed from that side, and it speeds up like rapids, and therefore it's the thinnest of all the ice, because it's just really speeding up through there. And that's why the first warm day you get, that'll be up there, it'll be slush, and that back there will be slush. There's the old LXT luxury crossover long track, 144, best sled I ever had. The one I had before, this is a 2022. I ordered it in 2021. Snow check, and you get 1,000 off snow check and then 500 in accessories. So You know, you get the mirrors, you got the electric start, you got pull start, you got hand and thumb warmers, you got the mirrors. 144 track with 1.1" paddle. I should have went and got the 1.5" paddle. And they do it like this is because it's tons of traction, but it's for the when you're on the trail. If you're driving on the hard pack trail, and it's a 2-up touring sled, so that's why they call it a luxury. It's 2-up riding. It's got handles in the backrest. What I like about it is these buckets here. They fit right in there. Like you got to force that last part in under there, so it just stays in and it'll never fall out. Some guy at Polaris sat there with a bucket and figured it out. I love it. Anyway, it's really good on. I'm only not bad on gas for a 2 carburetor, fan cooled 550cc. They say it's 67 horse. Feels like it. I've gone 88 miles an hour on it, and I'm 300 pounds. This snow is the best for that too. If I had a friggin' if I had someone out here with me and we were filming and I had my tripod and whatnot, I'd start way over there and I come zipping through here, laying down with my nose between the speedo and the tack and just keep it wide up, FWO, wide friggin' open. And I could show you, and if I had like a camera on my helmet pointing down at that speedometer, you could see it. I'll get my little brother up here, man. He's about 100 pounds, solid muscle. He probably do 90, 99 on it. I know he went 90 on my other 550, and it was a 136 track, and it had a hot rod muffler on it and stuff. This is all stock. I'm not touching this one. It's too good to be what it is. The only thing, when I put studs in the track, little screw-in studs that go in the knob, not to drill through the track, big, lumpy, stupid, heavy ones. If I was going to ride the trails and pay the big money to go up and down to Magneto One and all that, you know, every weekend, which around here late in the last few years, they've had 1 month of, actually it's not even open now. They didn't even open it this year. They opened it for 1 day, and it went to +8 or something. But they are riding the northern parts. They're all going up to Ardbeg, and Cheryl and them, all a bunch of this over here. This is an island, or that's a little peninsula there. It's called Craigmore. And there's about 10 sledders come up from Toronto every weekend, and they've been riding every weekend and putting on 200-300 miles a day, and they're getting their money's worth, so that's a good thing. I didn't buy a trail pass this year because I was supposed to be in surgery a month ago. Well, it only starts to get good around March, and I was going to be in the hospital, so. And then I screwed that up, and now I got to wait another until March 31st to go in. By that time, this will be all water and slush. Well, maybe not. There's 16 inches or 17 inches of ice in these holes here. And right now with the wind chill, it's probably about -10. It's saying it's -5, but with the wind. And this ice ain't even showing any chance. Well, you can see the holes. Well, look, we just checked that one a minute ago. What's this? Remember, we just broke the ice on this one a minute ago. Let's see if it's made any ice yet. No, not yet. But it is the warmest part of the day right now. I think it's like, well, look at that sun there. About an hour and a half of light left. So it's probably 4 or it's 5 right now. And you see, that's the problem. You get out here and you don't have any minnows or anyone to help you, and it's between now and when that sun goes down is when they'll start to bite. You know, I got peanuts and I got water. I got 2 beers in case someone comes by, but I can't drink friggin' cold beer when it's -10 with the wind anymore. I'd have a thermos full of whisk tea. That's more like it. Oh, anyway. Fucking crippled out here, fucking fishing crippled. I should make a website, fishing crippled, or crippled fishing. Get all the cripples out here to fish. Get some nice hot and cold running Playboy bunnies for help, you know. Do it for charity or something. Look. One other person, I'd have that all set up. Yeah, it's too much. I know if I get it set up, I'll be leaving it out here. I won't be able to do it. So I was waiting for a little nibble. I know nothing will bite. by that one because that's the jig I got to be actually. Usually I park the sled right beside that. I could start it up and move it over. Or I could dump that bucket out into the toboggan and sit on that, but it's kind of short to get back up the way my knee is. I need like a wheelchair height, like where I'm sitting on right now. Sitting on the sled. Usually I have a hole right here where I just sit right on the sled and just jig away, but I originally thought I'd put the tent up on that one, that hole, and have a window looking over at that one. So that's about 5 feet deeper than this one. The sun goes down in the California town. $2.50 for $1. Yeah, pretty peaceful out here, man. Everybody's in their cottages. They've been riding. A lot of them have been riding all week. Much other my buddies, they've been there off in Cochrane right now. Sent me pictures. They're having a riot. They go 120 mile an hour all day long up there in some of those wide open trails. So it don't take long to go from town to town. You know, you're not pitting around all day. You just get on there and you pin it. You have your lunch. You go 200 miles, have a beer. Go 200 miles, have lunch. Go 200 miles, you're home for the night. Oh. Yeah, a couple of big Arctic Cat turbos just went by here. Green, you can tell they're green. Well, they're Yamaha now. The Yamaha motors and Arctic Cat bodies, chassis, which is good. The Suzuki contract ran out, and before that their Kawasaki contract ran out, and before that JLO contract ran out. Before that their Hearth contract ran out. Yeah, but come on, fishy, fishy, fishy. Yeah, you gotta be. This is just a trial kind of thing. I wanted to see if I could even make it out here or not to do this part. I really wouldn't mind setting that new tent up. Because then you're sitting in there with no wind, with a beer and a heater going, and then you're like, wow, I never want to go in, but I can't do that myself. If something goes wrong out here and I do my knee slips out of the socket and I'm fucked, you know. I just pushing my luck. That's what an Aries does. Can't help it. Too fucking stupid to know any better. But anyway, at least I know I made it out here with over hill and dale and through the bumps and everything, and through my new rigamajig here. Look at this. What a nightmare that is. It works though. It just gives it enough flippy floppy that when I went, you should see how I go home. I gotta go right over these 10-foot high jumps and bumps and across the road and over these big giant, where a normal person would probably fall off the back. I had this all tucked in there with that bungee on there, and it all stayed right in there. I'm pretty happy with that. Looks like hell, but it works. And if I get my new knee and next year I get into fishing, I'm gonna go further to different lakes or miles and miles away. I got another one of these things in my shop, and I was thinking about just taking one of those and put it onto this one and then join these two together, so I got swivel, 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 back to back kind of thing. That should be pretty good. It won't look so stupid. But, oh, excuse me. Never brought my cup out. Thought I was going to have a friggin' thermos full of whiskey, but I didn't have time. I got the dog at home. She's on her period and blood all over the floor, so well, I don't want to leave her in there too long, I guess. She'll be freaking out when I get in there, jump all over me, blood all over the place. Life ain't easy when you're fat and greasy. Oh, come on. If I caught one now, I'd shit myself. Well, you know, maybe tomorrow's Sunday. I gotta go to the dump. Maybe I will take a round trip and zip into town and get some minnows. You got minnows, and then you got the hut set up. And you got chairs and a heater and a light. Yeah, it's fun, you know. You can be out here forever and you're never cold or nothing. I'm not really cold right now. I got my heated vest on and skidoo pants and whatnot, so it is kind of, if you wanted to bear gloves on or hands on, you could that turned ice already. Yeah, I don't really have nothing smelly enough. Even though this is a rubber black jig like a leech, I got that smelly walleye smell shit on it. I got it touching right on the bottom there. It's about, I guess, 15 feet, and I got it touching the bottom, and I just pulled it up about a foot. I can't really stand here for long with me. My legs give out, right? I'll just put that in there. Hope someone notices it. If I don't even hear that wind or not. Beautiful little afternoon. Well, I'll give it a few minutes. I'll wait for it to get just a tad darker, and then I'll just pull it up. It won't be that. See, now when I go, I just have to throw everything in there and go try to push that damn tent together. I don't think it's all that hard. If you see me doing the shop there. Come on, fishies. Come on, you mucking slushers. Jack drillers and miners. The price of the uranium's up and we're going down, da da da. Come on, you mucking slushers. Bang, bang, bang. Pow, pow, pow. Oh, the Sudbury song. There ain't no music finer. It's a damn good song for a miner. Come on now, Worky, pay me now. We got 18 holes going pow, pow, pow. There ain't no music finer. It's a damn good song for a miner. Old Daryl Sunholm, he'll remember that Stompin' Tom song. I remember when I come back from Alberta, Manitoba, Pilot Mountain, Manitoba, 1976. I think I was 20 or something. And my 1958 Studebaker Scotsman, flathead 6, 3 on the tree with electric overdrive. And I had a 1969 Arlberg 20 horse, 1-cylinder motor in the back. I had to take the skis off just to fit it in that tiny little box. I got all the way from Manitoba, Pilot Mountain. I got to about, it was Nipigon. And I ran out of money and gas. Yeah, I ran out of money and gas, and I finally got to a gas station, and I finally got some gas. And I met a bunch of skidoers, and they gave me some food. And then I just had nowhere to sleep, so I just kept driving all day and all night. And when I finally rented I was just east of Wawa. Because I remember the Big Goose, and I remember that big gas station on the right-hand side. And then when you go down the hill, Jones Power Sports is on the right. It wasn't there in 1976, but where they are, that's kind of where I was going. And I got about 20 miles east of there, and I ran out of oil. And all I heard was clack, clack, clack. So I pulled it over onto the side in a big whiteout blizzard storm. I hadn't seen the road in 2 days from the fucking snow. Just guessing you're in the middle. So I start walking back because I know there's a town behind me, but I don't know what's ahead of me. I could be 100 miles ahead of me, but I know for sure I just went by something. I start walking back, and the OPP comes by, puts his brakes on, skids down this mountain about a mile before he stops. He's got an old man and an old lady in the back. They'd crashed their car. He's taking them to the hospital. I get in the back, and everyone starts puking. I go, what's the matter? Well, I smelled like pig shit. My whole body smelled like pig shit. My coverall smelled like pig shit. The hair in my nose and my hair in my head, everything. Because I worked on Water Beetle's pig farm, and I stunk like pig shit. I didn't know. I fucking smelled normal to me, right? And they're all like, what the fuck? So I guess the copper figured, poor little prick, look at this prick. He fucking smells like pig shit. He's driving a fucking 60 fucking year old truck with a fucking 40-year-old skidoo on the back, and he's going to fucking Toronto. So he gave me a ride back into Wawa and put me in that restaurant and bought me soup and sandwich and a piece of pie. He took the 2 people to the hospital. He came back, got me a $5 of gas, a quart of oil, and an extra sandwich with a clothespin on his nose, and drove me back out to where the Studebaker was, put the oil in it, put the gas in it, and it started up, and I made it to Sudbury, where now I really had no money, no gas, and I'm in the Sally Ann, and I wake up and all these rubbies are going through my pockets, and they didn't even notice the pig shit smell, because they smelled fucking worse. So I phones my sisters, and they got, well, it's a long weekend. They can't, back then all you had to do was teletext or something money, and you couldn't do it because it's the weekend. because they were going to send me $50, because then it was 50 cents a gallon. I mean, $50 is like winning a lottery. But I had to wait until the next day or something. And I met this guy named Jean. He was a Frenchman, and his truck motor had blown up, and he had money. He had a credit card. He wanted to go to Montreal. I says, well, buddy, tell you what, you use your credit card to fill this truck with gas in the fiver, and we'll get a case of beer and a case of 24 beer and a bucket of chicken, and I'll take you to Toronto. And I was going to Sinlac and Shepherd. So that's what we did. And that bastard, we weren't even 100 miles out of fucking Sudbury, and he passes out. So I drive all the way through, and it only went 55 miles an hour, this thing. So steering wheel looked like someone poured baby oil on it from all the grease off the chicken. There was no heater in this thing. There was, but you might as well have had a fucking lighter going for the heat. And I'm going down the high from Sudbury to Parry Sound, all up in there, and I get to about Newmarket, I'm thinking, on 11. And I don't think the 400 was here yet, so I'm on 69, I guess. I can't remember, but anyway, I remember I seen the sign for Newmarket, and I thought, wow, I haven't seen a street light or a city light or a store light for fucking 5 days. So I should have stayed on the main highway, and I would have been an hour more, and I would have been down around Finch and Yonge or something. But no, what do? I turn off and I go into where it's stop and go, stop and go, stop and go, and added about 4 more hours on there. Holy fuck. But anyway, I make it to fucking Sinlac and Shepherd, and when I get there, I shut the truck off inside her underground garage, pass out for a couple of days. Sister Wendy burnt my clothes, got me new ones, and then I went to drive the guy to the subway to go put him on the train, and my truck wouldn't start. The carburetor was hanging on. It was loose about 2 turns. Only suction was holding it down. It had vibrated loose. I can't believe I made it. That's God with you there for sure. So we tightened it down and it started up, and then I drove him, and he went on his way and never saw him again. And long story short, turns out that when I was driving across by after Wawa, when I was going by Lake Superior, I had a little transistor radio I got from a guy up in Thompson in the nickel mines where I was mining for Inco in 76, 77, early 77. And this transistor radio would make noises when you got near a town that had a radio station, and then when you got out of range, it would shut off. Little tiny thing the size of a cell phone, right? So as I'm going, I think I'm around Pancake Bay or something like that. It's way but further out though, and I get a skip, I guess, and it's coming from Michigan. Across the Lake Superior, right? Because it didn't say Sudbury. It didn't say Sault Ste. Marie. It said something Michigan. And it said, and all of it was the Edmund Fitzgerald song with Gordy Lightfoot. A legend goes down in the Jibboom, down in the peg leg they call get your gummy. And it came on. It played that whole song, and just about the end of the song, I got out of range and it shut off. Like a ghost came in my truck and turned that on. I told that Daryl's son home 50 years ago, and he still remembers it. Kind of cool. I don't think he knows about the rest of that story I just said about with the Studebaker and the cops giving me a ride and all. That was pretty cool. I don't know too many 20-year-old kids now that drive a fucking 60-year-old Studebaker across Canada in the middle of dead of winter, a week before Christmas, with $40 and a block of marble cheese and a bag of oranges that Bruce at Tooley gave me. And Dougie gave me, Waterston filled up my truck with purple gas. And I had gas in the sled. If I had, I could siphon it out of there. 20 years old, 1976, $40, a bag of oranges, and a block of marble cheese. Bag of tangerines and a block of marble cheese. And I was off like a turd or hurdles. But anyway, I guess I had enough of this lovely fishing out here. I'm going to go and put it all away and save the fight another day. So everybody, this is the Gapster out here ice fishing on Manitowabing Lake. Keep your stick on the ice. Right hand fucking cranked. Over out.